Chilly in Cleveland as we look over the city earlier today. I know the sign says live. It's not live from Cleveland. It's live right now, but we're going to look back at what happened this past Sunday on the Elimination Chamber for you. Of course, the Elimination Chamber determined the #1 contender for WrestleMania and the Women's WWE Championship. We've seen this submission from Rhea before, and it's such a dangerous submission because your back is so stretched. Is she going to tap? She taps, and Rhea wins the chamber from #1. What an impressive victory, man. Rhea Ripley has punched her ticket to WrestleMania and will face the WWE Women's Champion. That is not guaranteed to be Iyo Sky, but one thing that is guaranteed is Mammy is going to Mania. So kicking things off here tonight, we're going to hear from Cody Rhodes, but we have a #1 contenders match, Fraxiom. American made, it's a ladder match. The #1 contender will be decided tonight here on Friday Night SmackDown. We also have WWE Women's Champion Iyo Sky finally in action. She takes on Roxanne Perez in what should be an excellent match of styles. Following on from that, the quest for Luchador dominance is continuing for Chad Gable as he takes on Dragon Lee, freshly drafted to SmackDown, separating from the LWO. And our main event of the evening, #1 contender. We saw him in action at the Chamber. #1 contender Drew McIntyre booked his spot at Mania. Can he overcome LA Knight? Perth, Australia. What do you want to talk about? I just want to thank you for the incredible welcome tonight. I'm here because we made history at the Elimination Chamber, teaming with the WWE Undisputed Champion Randy Orton and took on Drew and Gunther. We emerged victorious. Now I hear Drew's earned his shot by winning the Rumble to challenge Orton at Mania, and that's his story. But let me tell you something. I've got my own unfinished business. Ever since that match, there's been a burning question on my mind, a challenge that refuses to be ignored. I'm not just content to be the champion. I want to prove I can conquer every obstacle in my path. And there's one man from that match that there is some unsettled scores with. Cody, you can talk all you want about unfinished business, but you know exactly who you're pointing at. I was in that ring with you, and I know the taste of what's left unsaid. That's right, Gunther. While Drew chases his title opportunity, I'm focused on the real challenge. I'm focused on you. You and me, head to head. I'm ready to settle our score once and for all. Then get ready, Cody. You may have the fans behind you, but when you step into the ring with the ring general, you'll learn that I'm the storm you never saw coming. So we kick things off here with a ladder match. Careers get shortened in this match. That contract you see above the ring will be contested by the Creed brothers of American Made and Fraxiom. And Fraxiom are a perfect example of some context I want to give in this universe mode. Some superstars, we're not going to have an NXT, I don't think. We're going to do main event and Rampage. But some superstars in the background will be on NXT. And also I have a contract with the main roster. Fraxiom, who you're going to see tonight take on the Creed brothers, are an example of that. We have many more, of course, on SmackDown and Raw. So just keep tuned for them. You won't see them any less. It's just that sometimes they may be away for a few weeks, and they'll be down in NXT if they're not in a story. You'll see them on main event and stuff. But here comes the ever amazing, the ever flamboyant Nathan Frazier. The winner of this will, of course, go on to Saturday night's main event to take on the tag team champions, undisputed at the moment. Voted for you guys. You guys wanted them both champs, Motor City Machine Guns. They've got a date with Destiny. They're holding 2 titles. Raw, of course, wants them back. And we're going to find out what's going to happen there. But we're focused on them blue titles. This is the SmackDown Tag Team Championships #1 contenders match here tonight. As we see Axiom enter the frame, and the entrance is all elusive as Axiom looks to prove himself. And look, it's like he's in a different universe. I don't know what's going on with the... the graphics there, but we're going to kick things off in great fashion here in Cleveland, Ohio. And no, Logan Paul is not in his hometown tonight. If you do want to see the rosters, make sure you do go check out the link in the bio of my YouTube channel. You can see the rosters there. The rosters that are on the website at the moment are post-WrestleMania. So some people will be moving a bit more in line with real life. I've only switched like 5 or 6 over, just so I can manage it. Obviously, you guys know I do AEW, and I like to manage that. It's just easier for me if the rosters are pretty similar for WWE to real life, with a few changes and some NXT additions. I can book a lot easier. It's just a lot less stress, because like I have that mindset where I associate someone with a brand based off what I see on TV, and I don't forget about them a lot more as we look to enter this ladder match. Julius Creed, I think there's 2 ladders out there, buddy. I don't think you need to go find another. Of course, to win the match, you've got to climb the ladder, retrieve the briefcase. Anybody can retrieve it. Just needs half of the tag team to retrieve the briefcase, and then you will have your number 1 contenders match. Of course, the number 1 contender, the winners of this match will face Motor City Machine Guns at Saturday night's main event for them SmackDown Tag Teams titles. That'll be an interesting bout. Whoever wins this, it's exceptional. Nathan Frazier bringing a ladder in the ring. Of course, ladders never good. They're not meant to be used to sling human beings onto. As Nathan Frazier notices his buddy in trouble, runs out the ring with a beautiful suicide dive there, taking out Brutus. Julius Creed going to work on Axiom, and now the Creed brothers going to assert dominance into the steps, goes Frazier. Chad Gable here. We're seeing American Made in full floor following WrestleMania. American Made will be one of the teams that do go over to Raw. The tag titles could be anywhere. Just part of in line with what I'm planning to do. It just makes it easier. Of course, there are some big names that are on SmackDown that are on Raw in real life that will stay. For example, Rhea Ripley will stay on SmackDown. Damien will swap like Kevin Owens and Seth over. And you'll find out. Just check the website. Following WrestleMania XL, that's what we'll be going for. It'll be a fresh start. WrestleMania will be an end point. There'll be no continuation from WrestleMania. It'll be all fresh storyline, so I'm super excited to see that. Whoever does win the championships will stay on the brand that they've got the championships on, if that makes sense. Lyra's on SmackDown, for example. Roxy's on SmackDown, and then Raw do have a couple from Iyo Sky as well. He's exclusive to SmackDown. Damage Control, of course, split up in the full entirety. A kendo stick thrown, and still to come tonight. Speaking of Roxanne and Iyo Sky, this is a SmackDown showcase. These two will be on SmackDown throughout 2025. Roxanne not part of that NXT hybrid. She's a fully exclusive member of Friday Night SmackDown alongside Lyra, alongside Iyo. Of course, going the other way, Raw will have a lot more superstars as well. You're going to see the likes of Braun Strowman go over there. SmackDown, come 2K25 after Mania, will acquire the Bloodline, the Wyatt Six. A lot going to go on SmackDown, but Raw is also heating up as we have a collar and elbow tie up now. And I want to emphasize this, we're just focused on the road to WrestleMania. Don't worry too much about who's on what brand right now. We have main event coming to you this next Thursday. That's going to be a good show. Of course, alternating with AEW Rampage. Going to see some superstars you haven't maybe seen on Universe Mode yet. As look at the double team work here from American Made. Smart from these two boys. Great individual talents on their own. Extremely achieved All-American wrestler is Julius Creed. He's a fantastic wrestler and an amateur wrestler. Brutus the same. As we get a third ladder. Don't know why we'd need a third ladder in here, Axiom. And a Frankensteiner from behind. Could have broke the neck of Julius Creed, and now Axiom's bleeding under that mask. Julius Creed showing no remorse. Saw his brother get hurt and he's pissed off. And that's safe to say. Nice kind of reverse sling blade, and look at Julius throwing Axiom right down like a ragdoll, and we see this face that clothesline lariat, and a Canadian destroyer, or a United Kingdom destroyer from Nathan Frazier. Frazier going to go in the ring, going to go try to retrieve that briefcase. That would be it would be a huge moment for Fraxiom to have an opportunity at American made. Sorry, not Motor City Machine Guns for them SmackDown Tag Team Championships. It would really propel their career. Of course, the SmackDown Tag Division is booming. We have Pretty Deadly, DIY, American made, Fraxiom, Motor City Machine Guns. Raw, a more traditional route. They have the New Day. They have the LWO. The Viking Raiders, or the War Raiders, if that's what you want to call them. The Judgment Day. And you might see them obtain a NXT tag team. That I'm not going to announce anything yet, though. And Hurricanrana. Julius back to his feet. Axiom and Nathan Frazier need to get back in this match, because it's all the Creed brothers and oh God. Think of his family, for God's sake. I thought he was going to slam him on the ladder. Brutus not quite brutal, and drop kick from Frazier as we look to ascend the ladder and retrieve the briefcase. Sling Blade taking down Brutus. Who will win that briefcase? Who will earn a shot at the SmackDown Tag Team Championships? Irish Whip from Frazier. Trying to buy himself some time, I think. No, he isn't. And reverse into there and a kick. And now Fraxiom feeling it. Fraxiom are feeling it, folks. To the top goes Nathan. If Axiom can hold the Creed brothers down, Frazier will take the briefcase. It's already been loosened, and Fraxiom winning the #1 contenders shot. They'll be at Saturday night's main event. That will be set up for you. Fraxiom versus the Motor City Machine Guns. And they're very happy about it, actually acting very flamboyant about their win, as you can see here. But I am really excited to see that tag team matchup. It's going to be such an amazing matchup. Motor City Machine Guns working double time, defending both titles, that they know where they'll be on the 9th, Sunday the 9th of March at Saturday night's main event against these guys who will look to take the SmackDown tag titles. Will they succeed? Well, you'll have to like and subscribe to find out, baby. Some people call her the Empress of the Sky. Right here on SmackDown, she's our inaugural WWE Women's Champion. And that was voted for by you guys. Iyo Sky beating the likes of Rhea Ripley in the poll to obtain this championship. We know that she will meet Rhea Ripley at Mania should she hold on to the championship. A lot of Universe mode to come. Still till WrestleMania. We're going to have that week out when WWE 2K25 releases, so maybe 5 weeks of build. Will Iyo still be your champ? She's going to face off against Roxanne tonight, which is a big test in itself. Roxanne, of course, really impressive in that mixed tag team match against Trick and Lyra. She obviously wants to go for that United States Championship gold. She's made that very clear. A win over the WWE Women's Champion could propel her into world title levels. And that's the problem when you're a champion. You've always got a target on your back. If somebody manages to get your shoulders down on the mat and pin you 3 or make you tap out, then there's always questions to be asked, especially with Mania coming up. You've got to be winning your matches, because if you don't, then people want opportunities, and you can make things a lot more difficult for yourself rather than just focusing on the one person ahead of you. Now, Roxanne making her way to the ring. I've been so impressed with this woman, especially in the Royal Rumble. Was incredible for SmackDown. Came up a little bit short, but in the chamber as well. Brilliant performance from Roxanne inside that chamber. Such a star-studded chamber. Big expectations for Roxanne to win, and now she's facing the WWE Women's Champion. She's not had it easy, has she? Maybe we give her a more reasonable match in the next couple of weeks. Maybe on main event. Roxy with a kick. Of course, the Women's United States Champion, Lyra Valkyria, will be looking for a #1 contender soon. She's a fighting champion. I heard that she's looking to defend it. So who will she face, potentially, come these next few weeks on SmackDown? I can't imagine she's going to go without defending it. So we'll see. She's the kind of person that could be hosting an open challenge. We'll have to see what Nick Aldis has in store for her. Of course, we'll hear from Nick Aldis later. He talks to Santos Escobar, or he's having a conversation with him. That's what we've heard. He said he's going to address the WWE Universe about the future of the United States Championship. Beautiful German there from Iyo. Santos, of course, winning that steel cage match against Trick Williams, another dual-branded superstar to NXT and SmackDown. So that kind of killed his momentum. You guys, of course, voting Trick for the United States Champion. Could not defend it. Was so close. And look at Roxy as she continues to impress in this universe mode. What is it about Roxanne Perez that's so brilliant? She's really proven herself here tonight. And she's proved herself every week she's turned up. So I'm interested to see where the universe mode goes. Oh, she dummies it. Iyo thought she was going to dive out, but didn't. Now Roxy going for that move again. She's going to take it to the top turnbuckle. Don't be fooled by the angry persona of Roxanne Perez. Incredibly talented in the ring. Trained under the tutelage of King Booker as she goes for the pinfall here. And not even a 1 count. The champ's still in this. Rhea will be watching this with a close eye as well. She'll be studying her opponent at WrestleMania. But with that being said, things can change. And I have to keep emphasizing that because things will change. Might not necessarily be with what I'm talking about, but things will change. If you think we already have 4 Mania matches decided 5 weeks out, oh well, boy, you have no idea what's to come in the next few weeks of the universe mode. And the lights go out, and that's Jade Cargill. Of course, didn't win the chamber. What the hell's Jade Cargill doing out here? Looks like she's running off with the title. And Iyo noticed her, and Jade running away, and Iyo gets back the championship. But why is Jade Cargill out here? And Roxy takes a cheap shot. After all the good stuff that I've just said about her. Why was Jade out here? Jade Cargill interfering in proceedings and DDT to the outside on the WWE Women's Champion. Of course, Jade, and still to come, obviously, as we mentioned, Chad Gable, Dragon Lee, that's up next. But I really need to focus on what's just happened. Jade was so close to winning that chamber. So close. But Rhea decided to, in Jade's eyes, from what we can see, she's not happy about the way she lost it. Rhea winning by submission, as you saw earlier, which is it's a fair way to win. So there's some controversy over whether Jade tapped or what happened or how the referee saw it, because obviously it's to the referee's discretion is a submission rather than a pinfall where it's a simple count. Submissions are to the referee's discretion of what they constitute a tap. Jade trying to rob the championship, maybe trying to gun for the champion, so I'm sure this will be explained in the coming weeks. I'm sure we'll find out what the hell Jade Cargill's doing out here as Roxanne. Iyo starts to build momentum back now, but Roxanne took advantage of the distraction. She got a cheap shot and then DDT'd at Iyo onto that mat on the outside. Iyo not looked like too good on her feet ever since that scoop slam. Roxy backs out and goes for the knee. And I really cannot emphasize how excited I am to see what Roxanne does in this universe mode. I'm also depressed that this attire won't be in 2K25 because it's my favourite attire in the entire game. This Roxanne Royal Rumble one. And Roxy going for the kick. Misses. I think she was trying to do a springboard. But nice clothesline from the Prodigy. Of course, I wouldn't say she's a prodigy anymore. She's quite experienced. I'd like to see her compete. She'll have her eyes on Lyra, but there's a lot of other women that'll have their eyes on Lyra, like Michin. Oh, nice Bronco Buster there. Gonna go for the pinfall here, 2 count. And of course, when Chelsea Green, I believe Chelsea Green's coming back over to SmackDown. That's another problem that SmackDown are gonna have. I can imagine. Sorry, Nick Aldis has his hands full. Beautiful moonsault there from Roxanne. Usually you'd expect to see that from Iyo Sky, but not this time. Not this time. So yeah, guys, crossface here from... It's a crossface chicken wing on Iyo Sky. Could make a tap. No, she doesn't. Roxy looked really good in this match, and so if you do want to see the post-Mania rosters, there's no spoilers, no champions revealed, don't worry. You can go check them out, and Mania is the end point for 2K, like the 2K24 storytelling. There might be some stuff that leaks over, but the roster that's on the website is the 100% accurate. There'll be no people crossing brands, or like in WWE. That will be the set rosters for 2025. Of course, we'll have a Forbidden Door with AEW. That's going to be exciting, and also we'll have SmackDown versus Raw. We're going to try and get the bragging rights pay-per-view at some point throughout the year, kind of like the old Survivor Series. So that's a lot of fun. So you tell me, guys, in the future, which brand you're loving more than the other. If you think there's anybody who you want to see pushed. Of course, there will be a transfer window, but that will not be, well, around Christmas time, so please don't think about that. Let's focus on what we got ahead. Irish whip from Iyo. Now a flapjack, sending Roxanne down. Roxy, of course, will be wanting an opportunity at that US title 2 count. She's been very impressive in this match so far, and every bit as worthy of a contendership for that United States champion. Lyra is a fighting champion. I feel like Nick Aldis just needs to make this match happen. Maybe a Saturday night's main event. We'll have to see what Nick has to do. But I would love to see that match. I think that match has to happen. I feel like that match, it really should happen. Roxy v Lyra. But again, Jade Cargill inserting herself. We haven't seen Rhea Ripley tonight, who's the #1 contender. I believe she spent a little bit more time in Australia with her family over there, so that's fair enough. I don't think she's here tonight, so we get Jade Cargill instead of bitter Jade Cargill, which is unusual and out of character for her. She did so well in qualifying for the Chamber, yet isn't happy about the result, which is fair enough. And Iyo, elbow drop, Macho Man Randy Savage, ingrained in the blood. As a kick out from Roxanne again at 2.5. And can we please get some credibility and some respect for Roxanne Perez, who, despite Jade Cargill's interference, distracting Iyo, and despite the cheap shot, outside of all that, she's been incredible in this match. Nice reversal there from Roxy. Kick to the leg. And now she's going to go for Pop Rocks, which is going to end this match, surely. Iyo hooked. Can Iyo kick out? The World WWE Champion nearly pinned there by Roxanne. And it's the acumen that she has at such a young age, the veteran instinct she has at such a young age, and a jump to the outside using the knees as a cannonball to take down Iyo Sky. I have to say, Roxanne Perez way ahead of her age. Execution. I'm sure King Booker taught her some stuff in that gym. I'm very sure that he's done a good job. What the hell's Roxanne thinking? This is a disqualification match. With the chair and throws it. That might just be frustration, folks, because she hasn't put away Iyo Sky, and it's completely understandable. Now Roxy going to the top rope. What the hell's Roxy got planned? And misses with the frog splash. I mean, with the size of Roxanne, it's more like a tadpole splash, but yeah. And scoop slam there from Iyo Sky. Can Iyo get the victory? She needs this victory because it's been a brilliant performance from Roxanne, and she's the one shining right now. The WWE Champion, despite all that's happened, the distractions and everything, she has to put in a strong performance. And oh, there we see it, the athleticism of Iyo. She may be looking for the end. A little glitch there. I didn't even notice that, but a knee to the face. Excuse me for that glitch. And she's going to kick out. It's a matrix. Maybe it's a sign. It's Jade Cargill messing with the production now. And now Iyo Sky looks to put it away. DDT. Roxy back to her feet. I have to say, I'm so impressed with the Prodigy this match. And a Celtic Cross. What is she going for here? If you're not done enough damage in the slap, and she's looking to end this in style. She's chanting with this Cleveland, Ohio crowd. She's pointing to the sky. This could be the end. She's not going to look to the top rope. She's going to work on the leg, which is interesting. This match has been back and forth, and it's been very good. A lot of experience in ring for both these competitors. It's good to get away the ring rust as Iyo goes top rope. And we're going to see that moonsault now, aren't we? And it hits. Surely Iyo picks up the victory. 1, 2, 3. But can we have some... I'll give it if you will. A round of applause for Roxanne Perez. What a performance. Remove the Jade stuff. I'm sure we'll hear about that. I'm sure Nick's very happy about that. Iyo Sky, your WWE Women's Champion, picks up the victory here tonight. have got an interesting dynamic because we'll see Rhea next week. GM Aldis, I'm the new US champ. Every inch of this title is mine now. What challenge do you have next for me? Santos, congratulations on your win, buddy. But on SmackDown, champions are tested. Next week, you'll be defending your title. Yo, I'm ready for whatever comes. Who's the challenger? Let's just say you're facing a man who's built his persona on relentless self-promotion. A man whose cocky chatter masks a real hunger for the spotlight. His presence has been hinted at in every subtle flicker, waiting to make his move. I know the type, a man whose words mean nothing when it's time to fight. Exactly, though I won't spell out his name tonight. You'll recognise him when he steps through those doors. Consider this a test of your dominance. I don't need a name, Nick, to know. I'll dismantle anyone who stands in my way. My title is my legacy, and I'll prove it in that ring. Good. Get ready, champ. SmackDown next week will be the stage where you cement your reign. Well, Santos Escobar looks like he's a fighting champion like Lyra. As we look on, we have Chad Gable. He's continuing the Luchador quest. He's taking on Dragon Lee. And as he says thank you, then the Cleveland crowd actually saying something that sounds similar to thank you, that I cannot repeat as a commentator. And they're also saying that he sucks, which is there's a general consensus about Chad Gable. But one thing I want to say about this man is incredible athlete, Olympian, a great amateur background, and technically, I'm going to say it. I'm going to throw out my opinion as a commentary fact. One of the best in the top 5 professional wrestlers in the world. There, I said it. And I'm not even mad that I said it. But you have to question his attitude towards the competition here on SmackDown recently. Of course, Chad, as we know, he's going over to Raw. He said, enough of the luchador problems, they're everywhere. On SmackDown it will has Dragon Lee and Andrade after Mania. He's only going to go over there and deal with Rey Mysterio and Penta. I'm sure it feels like Chad Gable's got luchadors in every corner. We've just heard from a luchador in Santos Escobar, the United States champion, beating Trick. I wonder who he's going to defend against. Nick Aldis giving some subtle hints, but not really giving anything away. This is a big night for Dragon Lee. Of course, congratulations to Dragon. Just had his baby. What an honour it is to be a father for him. Congratulations. And he's back now on Friday Night SmackDown to achieve his career goals as Chad Gable takes down Dragon Lee, and a beautiful suplex to kick things off. The thing about Gable is the grappling and the range of suplex that this guy has. It makes me feel like I'm in 1996 or 97 watching Taz doing the suplex machine in ECW. Nice neck breaker there from Dragon Lee. He's like a Taz Kurt Angle hybrid, but obviously 90% Kurt Angle as Dragon Lee looks to fight back. What would a win do for both these guys? That's what we have to assess in the opening stage of this match. A win for Dragon Lee is huge. We talked about Santos Escobar as United States champion. Is that somewhere both of these men could be looking? Of course, Chad will be more likely to be doing it on Raw after Mania, but night full Nelson Slam. But Dragon Lee, someone who'll stay on SmackDown, and he'll be joined by a plethora of talent, like Kevin Owens, for example, who will want world championships and want to compete with Dragon Lee in some sort of competition. So there's that to bear in mind if you're Dragon Lee. He needs to prove he's the best, and when he gets the opportunity to be on the channel, he needs to shine and win as many matches as he can. But it's not always about winning, it's about taking part. And like Roxanne, we saw with Roxanne, it's about taking part and doing your best and showcasing yourself to the audience and making sure that you are performing to the best of your ability and really trying to sell yourself to the audience, as Dragon is doing that right now. He's having a good exchange with Chad Gable. Dragon Lee's suicide dive to the outside, taking down Gable. And Chad in trouble. Chad is a veteran and a nice fisherman there from Dragon Lee. Not just a luchador, can mix it up with the grapples. That could be, and we know Chad Gable has had problems with luchadors. So, thank you! He goes for the head scissors. And I repeat again, this Cleveland, Ohio crowd has been brilliant. No Logan Paul for you here tonight, sorry. He will be on Raw after WrestleMania though. Don't cry, he's coming. Or maybe he comes before, who knows. But he will be coming, Logan Paul. We're going to use everybody, man. We're going to use even Logan Paul. And we continue to fight here as we exchange blows. And Dragon Lee with a Irish whip here. Oh, Chad Gable's had enough. Chad Gable's had enough. Maybe he's just had enough of being here. He's saying, I'm done with this match, I'm out here. Dragon's not going to let him escape. But that's dangerous because Gable with a cheap shot. And the tactic, this is the smartness of Chad Gable. And he's thanking the crowd. And again, I have to reiterate, they're not saying thank you when he says that. They're saying something similar. But what a disgrace this young man is. Well, he's not young anymore, he's 39, but he can't beat Dragon Lee fair and square. So he decides to pretend that he's leaving and not interested in the match. Can we get some officiating here? John Cone, of course. Don't want to talk about his performance on the last episode. That was an absolute tragedy. Dragon and Chad back in the ring now. Gable going to hook the body and bring him to the top. Looking for a dominator and sits down with it. And when you sit down with it, the pressure that comes with landing to the mat is a lot higher. And a 2 count there from Chad. From John Cone, but for Chad, sorry. Is Gable going to look for something here? Could he be looking for that patented angle lock? German suplex reversed by Dragon. I'm very impressed with Dragon Lee. He's been very resilient. Dragon maybe sensing the edge. Super kick. And he's feeling this Cleveland crowd. And the Cleveland crowd, that's quite a mouthful. Try to say that. Cleveland crowd. What the hell is he thinking here? He's enjoying this Cleveland crowd. They're really recepting well to Dragon Lee and just misses. We saw him hit that earlier, but not this time. One time too many. Gable's a student of the game. I feel like if you do something once, it's like typed into his brain and he remembers. I feel like that's how intelligent Chad Gable is. Takes Dragon Lee to the top rope now. What on earth is Gable thinking from up there? He has a whole plethora of... Oh my goodness me. Belly to belly suplex. Can somebody please get help? Because that's a high belly to belly. And he's going to roll up Dragon Lee actually from that. Maybe thinks he has the victory too. And kick out from Dragon Lee. But that's a very big height to fall from. Especially from a belly to belly. You think he's literally tossing you. And wait, crossface. Crossface. And Dragon Lee's going to get out. I think he's going to get out. Doesn't quite have it cinched in properly, Chad Gable. And now Dragon's going to fight back. And it's back and forth. Another reversal. Gable looking to put this one away. And he's using that collegiate wrestling style, the takedowns, to keep Dragon Lee on the floor. That's where Dragon Lee is best, by the way, because he's a high-flying luchador. So you keep him on the ground, you limit his moveset. Although we've seen some impressive stuff, ground wrestling from Dragon Lee in this match. I think Chad Gable needs to limit him altogether. And look at Gable's athleticism. He just adapts to anything and working on that leg. And that could be a teaser of why is he working on the leg? Because he wants to cinch in the ankle lock and break this luchador's ankle. That's why. Which is kind of where Chad Gable lost it. Because he used to be a good guy. And now his motives are all wrong. And now we're seeing a suplex from Dragon Lee. Teasing Gable. Says anything you can do, I can do better. Which he does do. Kick to the stomach now. Going to go for another suplex. I'm sure this is... Oh, it's a brain buster. I bet this is really annoying Gable. And Dragon, he's sensing the end. And Gable's on groggy legs. And reverse from Gable. And now he's going for it. Germans. We've seen, not German people, just German suplexes. But he's 3 of the best. We see this from Angle. We've seen it from another superstar who we won't mention. But so effective in wearing down the neck of your opponent. And now an arm drag. An arm bar. Dragon Lee on the ropes. And he's getting the reception that we'd expect by thanking this crowd again. And now he's doing a little bit extra to goad this crowd into reacting to him. Which is a typical Chad Gable. And now he's going to finish it. Grabs the guts. Has him up. We've seen this move earlier. Dominator again. You got to question, how much does Dragon Lee have left in the tank? Because he's been thrown from pillar to post. An ankle lock. He's in trouble. He is in trouble. Will we see him tap? It's cinched in. If he sits down on that ankle, it's over, but Dragon Lee gets out. Just. And you cannot let him sit down on that ankle. If he sits down on that ankle, it's over. Because he can really wrench your ankle and twist it. Knee to the face now from Dragon Lee. Oh, and the knee pads come down. And that never spells good things. Because he's going to use that knee as a weapon on Gable. And he's celebrating and going for it. And, oh, well, did he hit it? He did hit it. Gable going to rope break from Gable. And he rolls out. What a match, folks, we've had on Friday Night SmackDown here tonight. What an actual match we've had. German suplex now. Another German. We've seen him deliver 3. This will be 6. Can't really double up on German suplex or offer much more, but that is enough with German suplexes. Irish into the ring post. Gable's had enough. Thank you. I can think of another word to say. I'm sure a lot of you guys can, unless you like Chad Gable, in which case you would appreciate the thank you and getting back in the ring now. Dragon Lee does not look good outside the ring, folks, and still to come our main event of the evening. The megastar, LA Knight, he's going to take on the #1 contender who's guaranteed his shot at the WWE Championship at Mania, Drew McIntyre. Can Drew build momentum? It doesn't matter what happens with Drew. He can lose every match up until Mania. He can't lose that #1 contender spot. There's Dragon with the leg sweep. And of course, we're going to see the likes of Damian Priest on SmackDown like in real life that after Mania. Or maybe before Mania. I don't know. We'll figure it out. Just focus on the stories for now that are heading up to Mania. We have a hook to the leg and now potentially a kick out. And Gable just kicks out. I don't know how he kicks out of that, but he does. There's somehow, some way he gets that shoulder up. And I don't know how he does it. Now Dragon Lee's going to use the rope to wrench the arm. Maybe potentially trying to limit how many suplexes Gable can achieve. Gable going to fight back now. And this has been excellent. And it's a crossface from Gable. But the ropes are right behind Dragon Lee. And who's going to win this match? I can't call it, folks, I'll be honest. I think it's been such a tremendous showcase of athleticism from both men. And I'm so excited to see what Chad Gable can do across 2025 on Monday Night Raw. That's going to be really exciting. But Dragon Lee really making a name for himself here tonight. Putting himself on that main event scene. That US title scene and a snap suplex. But backwards dropping Gable on his neck. And now maybe Dragon Lee getting some attention from that audience. In Cleveland, Ohio. Kick to the back. And brings Chad to his feet. Collar and elbow tie up and now an Irish whip. Could Dragon Lee be looking to put this away? I'm a big fan of Dragon. I'm excited to see what he does on SmackDown. And a flip off the turnbuckle there from Chad Gable. Just one step ahead all the time, it seems. But surely we're approaching the end of this match now as Gable... Oh, goodness me. He's going to cinch another submission in. And there's only so many of these you can take. Raking the arm of Dragon Lee. Who rolls out of it. Impressive. Into the Hurricanrana. That's impressive from Dragon Lee because when you're having your arm wrenched like that, it's difficult to have the energy to get up and perform a Hurricanrana. Irish whip now. Ducks under. And back body throwing him over. Landing his body on that canvas. Is never good. Dragon wants more. And I don't think Chad Gable wants to see a luchador again. As he goes to the top rope. Dragon Lee lining him up. And it could be good night. Gable with that missile drop kick. And surely the end is near. As Dragon into the corner. Let's all clap for him. And is he going to hit it? He does. Pinfall. Gable, thank you for coming. Thank you. As Dragon Lee picks up the win. Chad Gable will be going to Monday Night Raw, folks. And the rosters will be more like in line with real life. Please, I just want to re-emphasize this. I know I keep talking about it. Don't worry about who's on what show before Mania. Just worry about after Mania. Then it'll be fine. You'll have some consistency. But Dragon Lee, big win. US title picture maybe? Question mark. Let's have a look. See what he does. I'm excited to see more from this young man. Thank you. Well, what I'm not excited to see is Drew McIntyre and LA Knight. A bit of personal beef in real life between these two. Going to be settled in the ring here tonight. Of course, Drew winning that Royal Rumble a couple of weeks back before the Elimination Chamber. He's now on Friday Night SmackDown, and SmackDown is his home. And I'll try every time you see a superstar, I'll try just tell you what brand they'll be on post-Mania, if I remember to do it, just to quickly, because some of you won't have seen the website, which is just in the link in the bio. But Drew, home is SmackDown, same with LA Knight, so we got an all SmackDown classic tonight. Drew winning the Rumble is the number one contender. LA Knight still yet to prove himself. Got a promo last week telling everybody that he's the megastar. He's got a chance to show how big of a star he is against the potential future WWE champion. And I know that sounds crazy, but it's a possibility, and it's as real as a possibility as you can get. The Scottish Warrior is going to Mania against who? Randy Orton holds the title at the moment, but things can change. We know that John Cena faces AJ Styles at Saturday night's main event. And we heard from Nick Aldis earlier, there's a SmackDown Tag Team title. I'm now hearing from Nick Aldis, confirmed, it will be Lyra Valkyria versus Roxanne Perez in an Iron Man match at Saturday night's main event for the WWE Women's United States Championship match. That is going to be an absolute banger, folks, that you're absolutely not going to want to miss. A 30-minute Iron Man woman match between Roxanne Perez and Lyra Valkyria for the United States Women's Championship. I cannot wait. Saturday night's main event comes to you, ironically, on a Sunday, 9th of March. It's a bit away yet, but we'll have to see what the road for them girls is going to look like up until Saturday night's main event. Of course, we have, speaking of main event, we have our first premiere episode of main event this Thursday. A 2-match special. 1 match from the women's division, 1 match from the men's or the tag division. Every 2 weeks, rotating with AEW Rampage. You'll get to see some of your favourite superstars that maybe aren't featured in stories at the moment. They will be coming to you on main event, just to show you they're alive as we focus on our main event here on SmackDown. Drew McIntyre looking for a big win as he Irish whips LA Knight into the corner. And the pure strength of Drew McIntyre there just made LA Knight's back just bounce off that top turnbuckle. And a clubbing blow, going to go for an early pinfall on LA Knight. The megastar got a lot more resiliency than that. He kicks out there at not even a 2 count as Drew going to work. Could we see Drew hit that Claymore kick? That is a deadly kick, and he attacking the back there of LA Knight. And Drew's enjoyed his time in Australia, from what I've heard, watching and taking part in the tag team match with Gunther, who we saw earlier. Accept a challenge from Cody Rhodes for a one-on-one match. We'll have to see what the hell's going to happen there. And Nick Aldis, of course, next week on SmackDown may even announce it. He can announce stuff at any point, can Nick Aldis. So maybe it's next week, maybe it's in a year's time. But Cody and Gunther both challenging each other and accepting. So the Nick Aldis' job is to make sure that match does happen at some point. Don't worry, folks, it's not going to be all the way at Mania. That is more in the near future. As Drew with a suplex. LA Knight finally beginning to fight back. The megastar with a clothesline. And look at him, he's loving this Cleveland crowd as he gets them to interact with the chant. Misses on the blow there, and Drew's such a great superstar. Celtic cross from LA Knight. Of course, we know that LA Knight is extremely under the radar in terms of athleticism, but if you've ever seen him vault to the top rope and perform that superplex, that is something that somebody of his sort of wrestling style wouldn't usually do, as he has Drew on the floor here. On the outside, Drew clothesline. It was like a bait from the number one contender there. And Randy, of course, we haven't seen Randy Orton since the Chamber. Well, we wouldn't have, because this is the first episode of SmackDown, but he was, of course, in that tag team, and now we're fighting in the crowd here, LA Knight and Drew. This might have got a bit more personal than we thought. Uppercut from Drew. He's going to go back in the ring. Knows that the referee is counting, doing his job, so they have to bring it back in the ring. Drew's going to re-exit the ring, and obviously a rule in professional wrestling Because it don't matter how many times you go between them ropes. Every time somebody else steps out them ropes, you can go back in and step out. The count has to be reset. That's the rules of professional wrestling. As Drew's just waiting for LA Knight. Punch, kick, and it's like a boxing match. And another clubbing blow to the back of LA Knight. LA Knight escapes. Back in the ring here comes the megastar. Only to the... And look at Drew taunting in his face. That's really pissed LA Knight off. Another clothesline from Knight. And now maybe he's beginning to get a bit confident. Roll-up pin. Maybe he has to do a lot more to Drew to get him away there and kicks and punches. I want to see some grapples from LA Knight. We know how strong his grapple game is. Then punches to the nose will do. You've got to emphasise your skill set. Not really getting a chance to do it here against McIntyre. And McIntyre went for the headbutt. It's a good job that LA Knight pulled out that clothesline because that head is like a rock of Drew McIntyre. Reversal. And there he eats it. Rest in peace, LA Knight. Could be knocked unconscious. Look at Drew telling him to get up. Of course, Drew speaking to Kathy before this match in the back said that this is the easiest match that he'll ever have. So we'll have to see that. Going for the pinfall. 2. Kick out by LA Knight at 2.5. LA Knight looks spent. He looks like he's got nothing left. Can he get out of this? Can he get out of this situation? Because... And a clubbing blow again from Drew. And Drew's just soaking it in. He's just taking his time and he's dismantling the megastar. The tactic is working. And clubbing blows, and now LA Knight going to fight back. Drew going to fight with him. Trading blows in the middle of the ring. Look at Drew. And LA slaps, punches, chops, everything you can think of. Surely, Drew's busted open. He's bleeding like a government mule. Somebody stop the damn match. Drew McIntyre's got a nasty cut above his eye. And LA Knight begins to feel confident. Oh, Jesus. We know what LA Knight does from here. As he enjoys this Cleveland crowd. Look at this athleticism, folks. Jumps to the top rope. God damn. That is inhuman. That's something you see Rey Mysterio do about 20 years ago. And a king-size superplex to Drew McIntyre to rub salt in the wounds. And now he lines Drew up. Could we be about to see some BFT? No, Drew's not having it. Drew looked out at the headbutt again. What has LA Knight got left to offer? Drew with a Claymore kick. And oh my goodness. He's going for another one. He's trying to end the career of LA Knight. Understandable, and a second one. That's all she wrote, folks. Good night, Eileen. Thank you for watching SmackDown. And what the hell? Excuse me, what? LA Knight somehow kicks out, and that's really going to annoy Drew. Neck breaker from Drew. I have to have a drink from all this screaming. How the hell did LA Knight kick out of 2 Claymores? What is this man made of a head? But Drew's seen, he's seen red. And we know, we've seen this in the past with him. When he doesn't get a match won, and what the hell's he doing? Submission, crossface, chicken wing. We're going to try to put away LA Knight here. Who kicks out of 2 Claymores. What the actual swear word. How do you do that? And God damn it, BFT out of nowhere. On Drew. Is he going to put him away? 1, 2. No, God damn, Jesus. You won't find action like it anywhere else, folks. Back and forth. LA going to the top turnbuckle now. Athleticism. Knee drop misses. He's really short on that. And it looks like he's hurt his knee falling off the turnbuckle. And punch there to Drew. What has the Scottish Warrior got left? He's going to Mania. But tonight, he might be going to the Megastars victory book. What an impressive performance from both of these competitors in tonight's main event. Reversal from Drew. And now a clothesline taking the head off LA Knight. And he's had enough as Drew. He sits down and he's saying, what do I have to do to win this match? Well, I question the same thing because you hit him with 2 of your best Claymores and he's still standing. And LA Knight had a 3rd one. Surely that's enough. LA Knight trying to recuperate, gets back in the ring. Oh, and Drew wins, and the Viper's here. The WWE Undisputed Champions here after that hellacious match. He's here to see his opponent face to face. He's Randall. And what's he going to look like? What's he going to say to him? What is he going to do? Even if he does anything at all, the Viper, very experienced, understands the dynamics of a championship and a feud and WrestleMania. He's going to hold that championship above his head in front of Drew McIntyre as we close SmackDown. What is next between these?